Yes, good afternoon, everybody. So, as you all said that you need to understand this motion in one dimension again. So today we are going to discuss chapter number 2 of your syllabus, motion in one dimension. So before we start this chapter, just go through some terms which are related with motion in one direction, motion in one dimension. First of all, rest and motion. What is rest and what is motion? So anything is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with respect to its immediate surrounding. What does it mean? We all know that Earth is not stationary. Earth is continuously rotating and revolving. But if I am sitting today in my room, so am I in motion or am I at rest? Obviously, I am at rest because I am not changing my uh, place with respect to my immediate surrounding, that is my room. Okay, since I am also moving with the moving earth, but I am not moving with respect to my immediate surrounding, that's why I am at rest right now. And if something is changing its position, then it is said to be in motion, like a moving car, a moving bike. Okay, then what is one dimensional motion? One dimensional motion, when a body moves along a straight line, it is said to be in one dimension, one dimensional motion. Okay, any confusion in this slide? Please respond, any confusion in this slide? Now next is distance and displacement. So what is distance, what is displacement? Distance and displacement are the measure of length of the path. Okay, distance, the path along which we move, and displacement is the shortest path. For example, if we see this diagram, this kid first moved 4 meters from A to B, then 3 meters from B to C. So what distance it has covered? He has covered 4 plus 3, 7 meters. But the shortest path of A to C, of his initial position and final position, is of 5 meters. So the displacement is 5 meters only. Distance is 4 plus 3, that is 7 meters. Displacement is just 5 meters. So if we see the definition of distance and displacement, then distance is the length of the path taken by an object, whereas displacement is the simply the displacement between where the object started and where it ended at. Means the shortest possible path between the starts and end position. SI unit of both distance and displacement is meter, since both are measuring length of the path. That's why their SI unit is meter. What are the differences between distance and displacement? So, distance, it is the length of actual path covered by an object irrespective of its direction of motion. Means it does not cover the direction, but displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final position of an object in a given direction. In a given direction. Then distance, because it does not covers direction, that's why it is a scalar quantity. Displacement, since it state the direction also, that's why it is a vector quantity. Distance covered can never be negative, either it is positive or zero. Okay, displacement may be positive, negative, or zero. Distance between two given points may be same or different for different path chosen. But displacement between two given points is always the same because shortest possible path is always the same. What is the meaning of this fourth point? Let me explain you this meaning of this fourth point. Suppose this is initial position A and this is last position B, final position B. Now here are different paths by which you can go to from one position to other position. But the shortest possible path is this straight line. Okay, so displacement is always same, but distance, if we cover this path, would be different. If we cover this path, would be different. If we cover some other path, then it will be different. Understood? Understood, everyone? Devansh, if you are traveling from Ghaziabad to Mathura, then it is not displacement because it depends which path you are taking. Okay, road can never be displacement. Yes, if you are taking the flights takes lesser time than road transport. Obviously flights are faster than car or bus, but then flights always move in a straight line. Okay, they cover displacement, the shortest possible path. But car, train, since we travel through the roads can never be straight. Understood, Devansh? Yes, Karthik. Displacement could be equal to distance or shorter than distance. It can never be greater than distance. Now, displacement can be zero, but distance can never be zero. Sorry, here I have to mention distance. Displacement can be zero, but distance can never be zero. How? Suppose this kit first move from A to B, B to C, C to D, and then again D to A. In this case, its final and initial position are A only. So in this case, the displacement of this kit is zero because its final and initial positions are same. But distance is not zero. Distance is 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5, that is 16 meter. Understood? Now, yes, Nitanshi, correct. 16 meter. Speed and velocity. So when we talk about distance and displacement, we talk about speed and velocity also. Speed is the rate of change of distance, the distance covered by any object in a given time, and velocity is the rate of change of displacement, the change of displacement in a given time of any object. Okay, speed is a scalar quantity, velocity is a vector quantity. Speed can never be zero, can never be negative or zero. Sorry, speed can never be negative. It can be zero if the body is stationary, then obviously it can be zero. But it cannot be negative. But velocity can be negative, zero, or positive. How velocity will be negative? If the direction changes. Suppose one car is moving from north to south with 70 km per hour. The same car then again start moving from south to north. Then in this case, since the direction changes, so now we will apply a negative sign to the velocity. So like this way, velocity could be zero or negative or zero, but speed cannot be negative. Speed can be zero when the body is stationary, when it is not moving. If the body is in motion, then in that case, speed can never be zero. Speed may or may not be equal to velocity. Fourth point, speed is velocity without direction because it is a scalar quantity, obviously, so it does not include direction. Velocity is speed plus direction because it is a vector quantity. Speed may or may not be equal to velocity, but a body may possess different velocity but same speed. Okay, depending upon direction. If we talk about a circular path, okay, Devansh, I am explaining. Suppose a body is moving in circular path with certain speed 50 meter per second. Okay, 50 meter per second. This is speed because speed is a scalar quantity and it does not varies with the variation of direction. But since the body is moving in circular path, right now the direction is this, then when body will reach to this position, the direction will this. When body will reach to this position, the direction will this. When the body will reach to this position, the direction will be this. So at all 4 point, 1, 2, 3, 4, speed is same, 50 meter per second, but velocity is different. At point 1, velocity may be 50 meter per second toward the east. At 2, 50 meter per second toward the south. At 3, 50 meter per second toward the west. At 4, 50 meter per second toward the north. Okay, so uh, in this entire circular path, speed is same, but velocity is changing at each and every point because the direction is changing at each and every point. Now, how can velocity be negative? Suppose there are two positions A and B. A person is moving from A to B by velocity 40 km per hour and return at 60 km per hour. Now, if we talk about the speed, we will not talk about the direction, and it will be from A to B 40 km per hour, from B to A 60 km per hour. But velocity is a vector quantity. So when it moves from A to B, and if we consider this thing as positive velocity, so that other reverse direction will be negative because the direction is just reversed. First, the body was moving from A to B, then the body was moving from B to A. Okay, so in this case, the velocity is negative. Yes, Nitanshi, negative velocity. Understood, Devansh? Yes. Okay. So fifth point is clear. Speed may or may not be equal to velocity. A body may possess different velocity but same speed. Sixth, speed never decreases with time. For moving body is never zero. Velocity can decrease with time. For a moving body it can be zero. If a body is moving from A to B then B to A again, then initial and starting position is same, A. First it moves from A to B, then it moves from B to A. So since the initial position and final position are same, so when initial and final position are same, the displacement is zero. And what is velocity? Velocity is the rate of change of displacement. And if displacement is zero, then obviously the velocity will also be zero. Distance can never be zero, so speed can never be zero. Displacement can be zero, so velocity can be zero. Understand? The SI unit of both are same, meter per second. Now little bit more about speed. The speed of a body is the distance traveled by a body in a unit time. What is uniform speed? If an object cover equal distance in equal interval of time, then the time speed graph of an object is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Then the body is moving with a uniform speed. Non-uniform speed, if the speed of a body is changing with respect to time, it is moving with the non-uniform speed. What are these 2 points, uniform and non-uniform speed? Let me explain you with the help of an example. So suppose there are two bodies, body A and body B. This body A is moving continuously with 40 kilometer per hour. Okay, and this B, it starts from 0, then 20 kilometers, then 40, and it keeps on increasing its speed. Then after reaching to certain speed, it start decreasing from 40 to 60, then from 60 to 50, and so on. It keeps on changing in its speed. Like it is some car or some vehicle which is running on the roads of Ghaziabad. You know how Ghaziabad roads are? Somewhere gaddas, somewhere heavy jam, somewhere good road. So wherever road is good, no jam is there, then the vehicle could move with the speed of 60 kilometer per hour. Wherever jam is there, then you could not move even with 10 kilometer per hour. So it is continuously changing in its speed with respect to time. So if we plot a graph here, speed and time graph. So this graph will be a straight line parallel to the x-axis, because here the speed is constant, that is 40 kilometer per hour. It's like you are running on a treadmill, because only running on a treadmill could have the uniform speed. Otherwise, the roads of India, you cannot have uniform speed. And here B, you start with 0, then go, then 20, then 40, then 60, then 50, then again 60, then 80. So likewise, this graph is not a straight line. So when uniform speed is there, the graph is always a straight line parallel to the x-axis. And depending upon the acceleration or retardation, this graph could be a inclined straight line or a curve or a hyperbola, anything. Okay. Ma'am, means at unequal time. Yes, Sanskar, you can say that unequal time. Maybe a car is running at 40 kilometer per hour for 1 hour, then next half an hour it runs at 60 kilometer hour, then next half an hour it runs on 50 kilometer per hour. So time is also changing, speed is also changing. Understood, everyone? Uniform and non-uniform speed. Then instantaneous speed. What is instantaneous speed? The speed at a particular point of time. Okay. When a speed of an object is constantly changing, as I have given you the example of road of Ghaziabad. So when it is constantly changing of a normal car, the graph would be a curve or line Karthik, depending upon the variation of time and speed. It could be curve also, it could be line also. If the acceleration is uniform, then it will be line. If the acceleration is non-uniform, then it would be a curve. Understood? So instantaneous speed, yes. So what is instantaneous speed? When the speed of an object is constantly changing, the instantaneous speed of the speed of an object at a particular moment or instant in time. Instantaneous speed is measured by the milometer of car. Yes, Dhruv, I know the video has been had been paused. I paused it intentionally. Now can you hear my sound? Now can you hear my voice, Dhruv? Okay. So instantaneous speed is measured by the milometer or speedometer of the car. You can see when driving a car or bike, continuously you see the change in speed in the speedometer. So at a particular time, what is that instant speed is known as the instantaneous speed. Average speed, since every time when you are riding a bike or when you driving a car, the speed is keeps on changing. So in that case we use average speed. So what is average speed? Average speed is total distance travel divided by the total time elapsed. Suppose you have traveled 50 kilometer and it took 2 hours, so how would you calculate the average speed? You will divide 50 kilometer by 2 and your average speed comes 25 kilometer per hour. Clear this slide, everyone? Elapsed means कितना टाइम निकला है, कितने टाइम में आपने कितनी डिस्टेंस कवर की है. Now velocity. The velocity of a body is displacement traveled by a body in unit time in a given direction. Whenever you talk about any vector quantity, you also mention the direction. Okay. So since velocity is a vector quantity, so the velocity of body is the displacement traveled by the body in a unit time given direction. Uniform velocity, like the uniform speed, if the object covers equal displacement in equal interval of time, then the time velocity graph will be a straight line parallel to the time axis, then the body is moving with the uniform velocity. Non-uniform velocity, if the velocity of bodies keep changing with respect to time, then the body is said to be in non-uniform velocity. Instantaneous velocity, when the velocity of object is constantly changing, so then it is referred to as instantaneous velocity. Average velocity, the total displacement travel divided by the total time elapsed. No, instantaneous speed is not same as uniform speed. You can say instantaneous speed is changing speed, so you can say it is non-uniform speed, but it can't be uniform speed. Or instantaneous speed means the speed at a particular time, at a particular second of time. Suppose a person is moving for 10 seconds, so its speed, his speed is changing continuously. On first second is something else, on second second is something else, on third second is something else. Suppose on third second the person is moving by 5 meter per second, So at third second, the speed will be 5 meter per second. So it is referred to as instantaneous speed. Okay, Devansh? Then acceleration and retardation. Acceleration, change in velocity upon time. So when the velocity is non-uniform, it keeps on changing. Maybe it is increasing or decreasing. So when it's changed with time, so change in velocity upon time interval is known as acceleration. If this v equals to u plus at, this we will derive with when we derive the equation of motion. So what is v? V is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is acceleration, and t is time. Acceleration is a vector quantity, but it does not determine the direction of the motion of a body. See, these 2 points. Acceleration is a vector quantity, but it does not determine the direction of motion of body. So if does not determine the direction of motion of body, then how could it be a vector quantity? It is a vector quantity because in an increasing velocity, the acceleration is positive, and in a decreasing velocity, the acceleration is negative, which is also known as retardation. So positive and negative signs actually shows whether the velocity is increasing, whether the change in velocity is positive, or the change in velocity is negative. That's why it is a vector quantity, but it doesn't tell in which direction the body is moving. So it is represented by the symbol A. Its SI unit is meter per second square. If the velocity of body increase with the time, the motion is said to be accelerated. If the velocity of body decrease with time, the motion is said to be retarded. Retardation is the negative of acceleration. Okay, understood everyone? What is acceleration due to gravity? You all know what is gravity. Gravitational force is the force of attraction by which Earth attract everything towards itself. So when a body falls freely under gravity, the acceleration produced in the body due to Earth gravitational force is called acceleration due to gravity. When a body falls freely under gravity, every second its velocity is changing. And since every second its velocity is changing, so obviously it has some kind of acceleration. Since that acceleration is in the effect of gravity, that's why it is also known as acceleration due to gravity, and it is shown by a symbol small g. So when a body falls in the direction of gravity, means from upward to downward, then the g is positive, and it is negative when the body moves opposite to the gravity, that is upward. Its average value is 9.8 meter per second square. But for making calculation easy, we can take it 10 meter per second square also. So here today's part is over. Next we will discuss the graphical representation of linear motion. So any confusion